Honestly, the joys of Instagram, Nikki. Conscious Dreaming sent a request to be in your live. Right, so I'm clicking accept, right? Accept, I've done that. Go live, yes. I've done everything my side. Yeah, you've requested me, I've accepted it, Daniella.
Hooray!
I can hear some, oh, there at the end.
What happened there?
I don't know, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you very much. Had a good day today?
I have indeed, just working from home. So yeah, it's been a busy day. How about yourself?
I've been at work today, but it goes fast. I work in a school, so the time goes so quick when you work in a school. So not
Yeah,
bad.
and I'm a teacher as well. So yeah, in and out,
Oh,
in and out.
you?
So yeah.
Okay, okay. What subjects do you teach?
English. So I'm sort of
Oh,
English, media and drama, but mainly English. But at the moment, I'm trying to go, but the aim is to go full time in my business. So I keep getting
okay,
stuck
yeah.
in. So I'm trying to come out.
Very busy lady.
I'll do my best.
Okay, so everyone, thank you so much for joining. What I'm going to do is to start off by reading some of your bio on Amazon, Daniella. So it's very interesting. Shows that you do a lot. So I'm just going to start off by that, and then we'll take it from there. So, where are we? 1 second. So Daniella Blechner is an award-winning, Blechner
That's fine.
is an award-winning entrepreneur, founder of Conscious Dream Publishing, author and book journey mentor who lives in South London. Over the last 4 years, she has published over 80 books, mentored over 190 authors and aspiring authors, assisting them in transforming their powerful stories and messages into successful books. Dubbed the class clown in her former years, Daniella has always sought to bring joy and humour to others' lives and believes humour is the best medicine in times of challenge. Achievements include surviving lockdown alone, gaining 400 plus comments on a post about cabbage during lockdown.
I didn't know you were going to read this.
Completing the Don't Rush Challenge, living in Tanzania as a voluntary teacher whilst getting away with speaking broken Swahili and climbing Mount Kilimanjaro and getting to the top. Daniella's conscious dream is that we get to create and live in a world that is founded on equality, love, and unity for all. Daniella offers free 30-minute consultations for anyone interested in writing a book, as she believes that everyone has a story inside and the power is using it to positively impact one another. That's lovely.
Thank you.
Okay, so my first question to you, Daniella, is to tell me more about yourself, like your roots and what got you into becoming an author. How did that come about?
So what got me into being an author was, I think, from a very young age, from about 4 years old, I remember being asked what I wanted to do when I was older. And it was always the same thing, I want to be an author. Can you hear this dog barking? I'm really sorry.
It's fine. No, it's fine. It's very subtle. It's not that. It's not taking.
It's not mine. I don't have dogs. It's in the building, but yeah. Anyway, stop now. It's putting me off. So yeah, I've always wanted to be an author from age 4. I remember just being asked, what do you want to do? And when you're young, you've got this purity and innocence about you. You don't have those limitations and conditions. So yeah, for me, it was like, yeah, I'm going to be an author. When I'm 21 and retired, I had no idea about age, but I published 8 books before my 40th birthday. Which is pretty cool. So it's just always something I've wanted to do, and I created my first book out of paper. When you write the old ISBN and barcode by yourself at the back on your own.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, just makeshift kind of like computer paper. So yeah, I love reading, and it just came about that way really. And the first book I published in 2014 was not the book that I thought I was going to write. I thought I was going to write this middle grade children's fantasy novel. My first book was called Mr. Wrong, which is another story in itself.
Yeah, I've got that. You got Mr. Wrong. So these are the books that I've noted that you wrote. You've got Lockdown Life.
Yeah.
Mr. Wrong, as you said. 7 Shades of Love.
Yeah.
7 Steps to Creating the Greatest Version of You. And is that a workbook?
Yeah, there's 2 workbooks, one for women, one for children, girls, young girls.
Oh, okay. Okay. And what else have I got here? Yeah, so altogether, I've got Lockdown Life, Mr. Wrong, 7 Shades of Love, 7 Steps to Creating the Greatest Version of You, the Book Journey Mentor's Guide to Self-Publishing. And I've also got the Book Journey Mentor's Guide to Self-Publishing. So one of them is a workbook, and then one of them's
A guide.
what's that?
Yeah, exactly.
Just like a guide. Okay, so obviously, been very busy. So tell us about your event that's coming up. It's on Saturday, the 15th of October, 11 till 4.
That's right. So we've got an event called Black Authors on the Rise, which is in Stonebridge, 11 o'clock till 4 p.m. So it's going to be featuring 18 of we've published 80 plus Black authors over the last 6 years. So in total, 150 authors in general. So we publish people from all over the world. But I'm very much passionate about providing a platform for unseen, unheard authors so they can have their voices heard and stories shared. And for myself, growing up as a young mixed race Black girl, I just didn't see anyone that represented me at all, or shared my story, or told, or looked like me, or shared my voice or story. And subconsciously, that tells you that you're not important, your story doesn't matter. So this event really is to celebrate 18 of our Black authors. There'll be author talks. We're going to have a chef there. He's going to be cooking Caribbean.
Oh, wow. I didn't know there's going to be a chef.
Yeah, of course. We've got a kitchen. You've got to have food. It's going to be a kitchen. It's called the Unruly Chef. You can follow him on Instagram. The food looks amazing, so I'm really excited. I love my food, so I'm excited about that. We're going to have spoken word artists who are some of our authors. We've got Nick Knack, who's watching right now. She's one of our authors. She's going to be there as well with her book, Kairo's Mystical Kaleidoscope. And then we've got some entertainment by another one of our authors who's also an award-winning West End singer, and she is a Shaka Khan tribute act. So yeah, looking forward.
Oh wow, okay. So guys, for those of you who don't know, how I came about Daniella's profile is Nick Knack on here. She's also an author, so she'll be at Daniella's event. So Nick Knack has her own book, obviously, that's come out. So obviously, it's a very small world, because she'll be traveling all the way from Manchester. And I'm sure you've got many people traveling from all over. Where are people traveling from?
I'm not even sure, to be honest. We'll see. But most people are based in London. I think Nick Knack might be one of the authors who's traveling from the furthest. So I haven't been. There's no one flying in from abroad yet, but I'm sure we'll do it where that happens.
And the tickets are free?
Tickets are free indeed, but you can donate. It's £5. The costs go towards, first of all, doing storytelling workshops for young people in the community. I also, one of our authors called Julia Lynch, she is the director or founder of a non-profit organisation called Global Girl Project. So they go into different villages and remote villages and train up young people there in a gift or a talent, and they go on to train the community. So it supports that charity organisation as well. So it's £5 if you would like to donate to that. I think that'd be fantastic.
Most definitely. Thank you. And could you give any advice on people, like, so, for example, myself, I don't actually read much. I don't know what it is, right? So when I was in a secondary school, I used to love, English literature. I used to read all the time. And then again in college as well, I studied AS literature. I used to love it. And then this kind of went downhill. So can you offer me any encouragement or any advice as to how I can just relax? I think what it is, because I've got children, and I feel like there's always things to do, like you're working, there's housework to do, you're looking after your kids, you're cleaning. I just sometimes want to actually read, and I want to develop that love again for reading. So what could you advise on that?
I was going to ask you what you felt it was that stood in the way, but that makes sense. As so many of us are so busy now, and for me, as a publisher, I'm always reading manuscripts, so I'm reading less of my own books that I would sort of choose to read. Not that I wouldn't choose to read those ones, but it's, you've got work and then you've got books that you've got in your reading list. So my reading list is kind of, I need to get rid of some of these books. I've got so many books, but I've recently discovered audiobooks over lockdown, actually. And I just find them, I still see this as reading, because you can really visualize what's happening. The first proper audiobook I listened to, I think, was Gina Yashray's book. I've forgotten the title. It's brilliant. She's got so much humor in it. And like you, I work in a school. I'm a teacher. I was walking to school and I'd be listening to her in my ear. I'll be cooking, because you can't read a book and cook at the same time, can you? But when you're listening, you're immersed in it. So you feel like you've read a whole book. In terms of actually reading physical books, because I love that act too. It sounds like you loved reading, the actual reading, not just sort of listening to audio
the
books.
physical,
Yeah, it was just creating that window of time and maybe getting into that habit. So it could be, 15 minutes, waking up 15 minutes earlier, start by reading something inspirational in your book, or even having a journal or something that's easy to get, a quote book. It's easy to get you back in the habit, and then progress to full on fiction novel, whatever. A little bit before bedtime, I think, is always a great time to just get that reading in. When you watch sometimes those old school sitcoms or old school dramas, and you see the couple in bed reading, one's on the laptop or something.
Okay,
But come on, we've got to bring that back. We've got to
I
bring that
know,
back,
exactly. I think everyone's on the phone nowadays, and that's one of my habits, because I'm on social media a lot.
Yeah.
It's becoming a habit. So I do want to try and sometimes just put the phone down and just learn how to relax and read,
Get into a book.
Cool.
I found like I went on holiday in July, and I honestly just enjoyed immersing myself in a book. I thought, oh my gosh, I feel like I haven't done this for so long.
Yeah.
So it's just creating those little windows of time, isn't it?
Oh, okay. I'm definitely going to take that on board and try that. Another question is, one of my friends asked me today, because she's an aspiring author, and she would like to know how to go about getting a literary agent?
Literary agent. It can be quite tough, but honestly, go for it. What you need to do is you need to first of all research first the literary agents that you want to apply to.
My friend Laura said, me too. She wants to learn how to go about it. That's Laura. She's my best mate. Yeah.
So it depends on the genre. There's a company called Jericho Writers. If you're a member, they've got a whole database of agents, that you can search up. You get their actual physical email addresses. But if not, there's something called the Writers and Artists Yearbook. At the back, there's a whole section. There's a list of so many different agents. You can highlight the ones that look. Just don't send it to agents who do not look for your publisher genre. Please just do your research so that you're not spending so much time applying to different agents. Just make sure you're really strategic about it. You've got to write something called a query letter, which is a bit about you. You've got to hook them in. You've literally got a page to hook them into you, your book, why you've written it, who your market is, and why it would appeal. They normally ask for the first 3 chapters, so you've got to make sure those 3 chapters are tight, and have a synopsis. So a synopsis is not a blurb. A blurb is what you get in the back of the book, which summarizes the book. A synopsis is like a blow-by-blow account of what happens in your book, but ideally you want that in 500 words. Funnily enough, I'm going to be running a webinar on how to apply to agents, or how to create an agent submission pack, or how to create packs that you can submit to indie publishers like myself. But if you do want to go the agent route, that's definitely the way. So query letter, first 3 chapters, synopsis, Writers and Artists Yearbook, and just get your list written down of agents that you want to apply to.
Sounds like a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
Protocol, then? Yeah, it does. But so what is the usual protocol? So obviously you've got your own company called Conscious Dreams Publishing.
Yeah.
Okay. So if someone wanted to, they're an aspiring author and they wanted to get their own book and get it cracking, I know you offer a 30-minute consultation.
Yes.
So what would the next procedure be? What is the whole procedure? What happens?
So if you go over to my bio, not now, in my bio there's a link where you can book a free 30-minute consultation. If you tell us a bit more about your book project, we'll send you an email where you can book your free 30-minute consultation. We'll discuss your project, see if it's something that we're compatible. I get you to just really delve into your why and your message behind your book, see how far you are in. Then you can make a manuscript submission. So we'd send you out a manuscript submission form. You would send us your manuscript in a Word document. If you have any images, some people come with their own covers, some people want it created. So just give us an idea of what you want for your book cover, or send us an example of your book cover. It then goes through a vetting process. That then goes to our editorial team, who then review it. We're always really honest, because you've got a lot of these companies out there that will just say yes to everything. They charge you grands and grands to publish a book. They don't edit it properly. They don't honor it with integrity. They just throw it out there, and they take royalties. We don't take royalties.
Okay,
And
yeah.
we make sure we take on projects that we know that we can nurture, both the manuscript, believe in the manuscript, and also nurture the author as well along that journey too. And it's not just about publishing that book and chucking it out there. It's about having a strategy before your book is even out there, you know, knowing what your marketing plan is going to be, what events you're going to attend, how are you going to promote your book, you know, what kind of exciting things can you do to hook people in to buy your book, because you see so many people that are just putting out book links there, buy my book. Well, okay, why? Do you know what I mean? It
Wow.
just goes over
Yeah,
people's
yeah.
heads, you know. Social media, there's so many exciting new ways you can attract people to buy your book, so we help people with strategies as well. Speaking of that, knickknacks on, she's going to be
Yeah,
she's supposed to be doing
she's
some
saying,
live videos for her book.
she said, Conscious Dreams Publishing are with you every step of the way. She's been saying some lovely compliments.
Thank
She said,
you.
do it. She's the best.
Oh.
So I wanted to ask you, with regards to the illustrations, so that author could also say to you, can you sort out the illustrations for
Oh
me as well?
yeah,
And then you...
100%. Actually, let me just take a quick look.
Mhm.
I've got this book here called My Afro. It's actually written by
Beautiful. Wow.
a 7-year-old. We had an interview with a journalist earlier today, and she was also part of the interview, and she's talking about the process of her book, and she was talking about working with Bryony. So we've got a range of in-house illustrators. We have someone called Bryony, who's one of them, and she works especially with children over Zoom. So she'll go through what they want for each image, what colors you want to use, what the design's going to look like. So it's not working with a faceless person, you're working
That's
with somebody who
beautiful.
can actually speak with you. Nick Nack works with Jason Lee, so she's done 2 books, and worked with Jason Lee on her books as well. So, oh dear.
Wow, well
Going a
done,
little
Nick
bit.
Nack. Well done to all of you authors. You know, it's really inspiring, encouraging, obviously it's, you know, positive influencing, isn't it? To encourage people to, you know, write their own books. So thank you.
Yeah.
Another question I have is, where is it? Done that one. Da-da-da-da. Oh yes. So as you all know, well, some of you may know, it's Black History Month. Okay. And we know that you said, obviously, this is like a diverse thing, basically. However, people want to know, is everyone welcome? Although it's, you know, it's Black History Month, so everyone is welcome. So it's not just about, you know.
No, not at all. It's like, you know, any event, it's celebrating a particular culture, but it's not to say that anyone can't come. Do you know what I mean? I think that sometimes it gets misrepresented in that way, which is frustrating sometimes. And also sometimes people don't always understand why we need these events. I mean, maybe we need to do another live about why we need these events. This is about raising awareness about the fall at the moment. In 2020, there was a huge rise in Black authors. And over the last 2 years, that was because of the whole George Floyd thing, and they tried to get, you know, all the agents suddenly were looking for Black authors. But that's fallen now by 23%. On top of that, in 2018, only 1% of main characters in children's fiction were from, I hate the term Black, Asian, minority, ethnic, but that's what it's classed as. It was only 1% of them were main characters. Now it's risen to 7%, but this event is about, you know, supporting and celebrating those authors who are out there doing it and celebrating representation the same way that I would go to an Asian film festival or a Jewish film festival or an Asian authors on the rise. You know, it's for anybody who wants to support what it is that we're doing. 100%.
Interesting, thank you. And I wanted to ask you, how could you encourage people basically to become an author? What would you say? Any positive words to anyone? Like, other than, you know, the people say, just believe in yourself. What else would you say?
Believe in yourself.
I know.
One of my quotes that really resonate with me actually is from Maya Angelou, and she says, "There's no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside." And I think there's so many people who have amazing stories, and they have so much self-doubt. There's this perception that you need to be, you know, Shakespeare or some kind of, you know, done a creative writing course or an MA and whatever. You don't. You just got to have a powerful message and story. My love is writing. That's my craft. That's what I'm good at. But there's some people who have amazing, powerful stories, that need to get out there. And whether that means you need some extra help, there's book writing coaches. We've got an author who was severely dyslexic. She's a transformational coach, and she teaches people how to release your fear and transform it into your greatest brilliance. And she had to teach herself how to transform her greatness into her brilliance. And she hired a writing coach. She came to us, and she's got an amazing book called The Expansion Game, which became a #1 bestseller in the UK and US for a long period of time. She's doing really well with it. So just those perceptions that you might have of what it takes to be an author, or what kind of credentials you have, that's out the window. If you've got powerful messages and story, find someone who can help tease that out of you, and just book a free 30-minute consultation with me. No,
it's free, guys. It's free.
Well, yeah, exactly. There you go. You live once, and I just believe any dream, whether it's writing a book or having a business or doing something that's really on your heart, what a shame it would be to die and not even try.
Of course, live, enjoy, experience life. Go for it.
Yeah. What are you going to lose? Nothing.
Has anyone got any questions? Let me just scroll and make sure I'm not missing anyone's questions. Someone tried to join the live, actually. Okay. I think it's Devon Drasting. Could you let us know? I don't just want to accept, anyone. If hopefully it's regarding the book. So let us know if you've got any questions, please, Devon. What else? Let me just see. That I can see. I think that was pretty much it, to be honest. We've just spoken about the event. So we know that's Saturday, the 15th of October, 11 till 4 p.m. Please try and join, everyone. Yep. What else have we got? You've given us lots of advice. We've spoken about some of your books. So it's 8 books you said you've got, isn't it?
Any books? Mainly books.
8 books. 8 books. Tell us about Mr. Wrong, actually. That's what I wanted to ask you.
Oh, God.
What is Mr. Wrong all about? Let me just guess. It sounds as though maybe you went through a little bit of heartbreak. You're dating someone and
lots of different things. It's not just my story. It's so it's a collection of stories written by women across the world who encountered this sort of infamous Mr. Wrong character. But it goes deeper than that. It looks at our belief systems that we create about love, relationships, how we value ourselves. It looks into the power of forgiveness, the power of intention setting, how we can learn from our experience. It started off as a bit of a joke because I kept on meeting a similar sort of character, Mr. Wrongs, and my friends would say, "Look, Dan, how are you meeting these guys?" And I'd say, "Look," and they said to me, "If you keep meeting them, you've got to write a book." And I said, "Look, if I meet one more, I will." I met one more. And so I got one of my friends who I used to go to college with, actually, who's one of our illustrators as well. It's a long time ago. Who do these different Mr. Wrong characters, like Mr. Lucy, the guy who's got 360 degrees, eye all roaming around everywhere. Yeah. Mr. Dreamer, the guy that sweeps in and wants to tell you you're the most amazing person. And they only last 3 months, Mr. Dreamers. They promise you the world and they can't deliver. They disappear, right? Mm-hmm. So it started off as a bit of a joke, and I created a blog and I said, "Look, ladies, is anyone else coming across it?" And I come from a family where my mum was a strict Jamaican. You don't chat your business, you don't air your dirty laundry. So me doing this was really stepping out of my comfort zone and just, But I had so many women saying, "Oh, I've experienced this too," and they're sending in funny dating disaster stories, but they were also sending in more serious stories of overcoming toxic and abusive relationships. And I realized there's something really in this, and there's something that we can all learn from, not being ashamed about our stories, a place where we can laugh, cry, and discover how we can make better choices and take our power back by realizing that we have a choice to start with. There's also stories from men there, and success stories too. So
that's nice. It's open to men. Okay, cool. Interesting. Well, I think that was pretty much it. Short and sweet. Well, I think we've covered. Have you got any questions for me, or do you want to say anything else, Daniella?
Well, you're going to be coming on Saturday, aren't you, the 15th?
I'm most definitely coming, yes. And the person that's going to be cooking, I think I remember now, he has his own book as well, or something like that, right?
No, but he's thinking about writing, because we've got very interesting stories. So, yeah, he switched careers over lockdown into, cooking and his gift. And all of these sorts of things. So yeah, hopefully he'll have his own book very soon.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. It's been lovely meeting you, even though I haven't met you in person as of yet, but I will meet you on the 15th. But yes, thank you for your time. And let me see if anyone's got any questions. Not that I can see. All right, well, I think we'll just leave it there, Daniella.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a lovely evening.
You too, darling.
So my name is Charlene Francois. Everyone, look after yourselves and always remember to look after your barnets. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.